Hi there, I'm Elizabeth East. I'm a qualified counsellor here in Cape Town, and my husband Andrew and I have the privilege of serving on the JoshGen eldership team. And I'm going to talk to you today about resilience, being resilient and building resilience in this time of lockdown. And resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. It's a toughness. It's the ability of a substance or object to regain its shape. It's elasticity, the bounce back. I'm going to give you a few tips to help you bounce back in this time. And one of the first thing is to allow yourself to process emotion. Resilience is not being tough and just powering through. In fact, resilience needs emotional distress to grow. So allow yourself to feel. There's many emotions around at the moment. Allow yourself to process and move through that. Embracing change is another tip, and everything is changing. In fact, change is here to stay, as they say. Some people are really good at change. Some people really have difficulty with changing. But let's see this time as a time to grow rather than to survive. Let's lean into the pain and the dissonance rather than recoil from it. Just as a woman does when she's in labour, the pain is used to push the baby out. Let's lean into that pain and help something be birthed from it. Let's put different glasses on. Let's live with the fact that the hope in who God is, his character and nature, is the anchor to our soul in all of this. Let's develop creative solutions, tip number 3. And sometimes there will be times when you get stuck by a problem. And maybe this is the time in this to build resilience, to build an inner strength, to ask the Holy Spirit and yourself, what's the creative solution here? What's a way round it? Instead of being disempowered and stuck by the problem, find a solution around or through or a different solution. That will be so helpful in the future when another problem comes your way in the middle of your road. You'll be able to say to yourself, but I found one before. I can find a solution here. I know Newton discovered gravity at this time, and so it may not be a huge solution or discovery like that, but it may be something that will take you forward. It will be something that you can have a greater sense of purpose in, that you will be able to put goals into, that you will be able to say, I've got this strength. I know I'm good at this. I know God has given me this gift. Discovering a sense of purpose is tip number 4. And tip number 5 is being kind to yourself. Our negative talk to ourselves is probably worse than we'd ever say to a friend. So speak kindly to yourself, speak truth to yourself, speak the word to yourself, build yourself up, build your inner core with truth. And then deepen your connections. We all need each other, more so than we've ever needed each other before. Reach out, even if you have to do it in creative ways. We're having to do it differently, but reach out. And in that, put courage into each other. Courage in French means strong heart. Let's build each other's heart to be strong. The word encouragement is paraklesis. We talk about it when we're teaching the prophetic. The man who is allowed to run alongside the marathon runner in the last few laps in the Greek Olympic Games. The man who could say, as we can to each other, you can do this, keep going, I've seen you do it, I've seen it in you, keep going, I know you can do this. We can do that for each other. We need it. And finally, I want to tell you about my trip to Kirstenbosch a few years ago. I went on a guided tour. It's a beautiful botanical gardens, world-renowned. It's full of indigenous trees and plants. But we stopped by these oak trees, which had been imported from England. They'd been brought in the 1600s and planted with a view to use their wood in construction, in building houses and the wine farms in the burgeoning colony. But when they cut the trees down and used the wood, they found the wood was inadequate. It wasn't strong enough to bear the weight in the houses, and it was too porous to hold the wine in the wine vats. And the reason was that those oak trees needed winter. They needed the winter of England, the cold, the harshness, the dampness, the darkness, because in that the wood hardened. The tree didn't grow upwards, but it grew inside. The wood hardened and it grew a capacity to bear weight. And that's what's happening to us. We're in winter. For some, it's very dark. For some, it's an exposing time. Everything is stripped bare. For some, it's a very unproductive time. But in this time, God is building resilience. He's building capacity. He's building an inner strength. Embrace the winter that we're in.